Hey, what's going on? YouTube family. This is Jeff. I'm Jeff, your host. With Jeff Talks podcast and Learning to Rise School. Today I wanted to talk about living your life in the eye of the hurricane. I'll explain. But before I explain, I wanted to basically say that the only way that I'm able to continue to live an abundant and fulfilling life in recovery is for so many amazing things, right? I have my cornerstone of like spirituality and God of the universe, God of my understanding, prayer, meditation. So I have like some deep core, but I also love the analogy of living in the center of a storm or even a tornado, but I like the hurricane analogy. So the way that I'm able to maintain that abundant mindset and also really just be super grateful is certain practices, right? A routine, a self-care routine that I apply to my life every single day. And it keeps me centered, keeps me aligned, and also it allows me to reset or recenter or rebalance my spirituality, my emotions, and even physically. Physically, it can boost energy, or like basically it literally gives me whatever I need at that time. So if I need to mellow out, I go through my routine or just a couple in my routine and I feel aligned. I feel much more like chill. Or if I'm just like lagging, not lagging, but like I'm lacking energy, I'll go through my routine and I'll feel balanced. So it's this kind of weird thing that I've realized just based off my experience that whatever I need, it gives me. So, having said that, I have a free checklist that I would like to give to you. I'm going to put the description in the link. Click on it, receive it. It's a simple, cool little checklist that you could print out and post it up somewhere, like in your bathroom, or wherever it's going to be seen every single day to remind you. Excuse me. To remind you to practice loving yourself, to practice a self-care routine. So, living your life in the eye of the storm. I used this analogy when I was actually living back east. And to be completely honest, I don't know if I heard this from somebody else, but I may have. So I apologize if somebody else said this, and I'm not able to give like credit where credit's due, but I really feel like it was me. So basically it's this analogy, and I think it really hits home with the coronavirus and everything going on. But of course you can use it and apply it in everyday life. So we're in a storm. Obviously, with corona and toxicity and just the world, economics, socially, people, like it's very, very stressful. So I also like to think of stress as a storm. So when I am in alignment with the God of my understanding, with the universe, when I am balanced or I am centered, I'm living my life right in the middle of that eye of the storm. And for those of you that don't really understand a hurricane, it is completely quiet. Maybe not quiet, but you can see the sky clearly. If you're standing on the ground and you're looking up, you can see the sky. There is no like crazy rain, or like it's not stormy. You're not in the storm. So the way I used it in my recovery, um, to explain kind of like basically what we're striving to do. I was explaining this to or sharing this with a brother in recovery, and I was like, dude, like when we pray, when we meditate, when we like practice spiritual principles, when we apply everything that we've learned to our life, we are centered, we are focused, and we are open to the universe to receive guidance, because the storm moves just like a hurricane, and it moves and it floats wherever it's going to. It's seeking out energy as well because it wants to keep going. It's like spinning, right? So I need to align myself not with the energy of the storm, but with the energy of the universe and the God of my understanding. So like as long as I keep my focus up, right? Not on myself, not on everything else that's going on around me, but I maintain that connection up. Or I also love the inner child analogy and looking within, right? If I maintain that connection, I'm going to be guided gracefully exactly wherever I need to go, and I'll be able to see clearly, right? And I'll also be able to really feel when I'm kind of running my life based off of my own understanding, and I'm not seeking, I'm not open to receive guidance. So I know I'm getting kind of maybe a little voodoo, like spiritual. But for me, that analogy, again, being in recovery and just celebrating 3 years of sobriety, it's like that's kind of my anchor. And it's something that I have been practicing for over 3 years now, and it works, and I'm going to keep doing it if it works. So the other thing, what was I talking about? When you start to feel the energy of that storm, usually for me, it's because I took my eyes off the prize, right? And I'm looking down, and then I start just like wandering and like, oh, I think this is what, the God, the universe wants, or I think this is what, this girl's cute, or whatever it may be, right? Whenever I start operating off of my own selfish desires, maybe, again, it could really be anything. So this routine that I've implemented and been practicing keeps me centered, keeps me focused, really, up. And what I feel is truly the reason to live life, which is love, right? I believe that my understanding and what I feel that the God of my understanding wants me to be is love, and specifically a fearless love, to love those who could be deemed unlovable, because at one point I felt I was unlovable, but somebody else loved me when I couldn't even love myself. So it's connecting in the eye of the storm. And also it's amazing because it's also hard too, because you kind of see so much toxicity, and a lot of negative energy all around you. And at times, like I've definitely done this, at times you take your focus off of connecting with your inner self through prayer, meditation, yoga, working out, could be cold showers, could be hot showers, could be like whatever, making your bed every day. These are the things that I do. But basically when I start to operate off of my own self-will, and I think that, oh, maybe this is where the universe wants me to go, and I basically start making my own path, it doesn't really work out very well for me. For me, it just doesn't really work out very well. And it's been my experience every single time that when I kind of surrender to the storm and I allow myself to be connected in that eye of the storm, life is so much easier. And it's much less likely that I'm going to get immersed in that storm and then be discombobulated and just, I don't even know where I am anymore. I don't know who I am, blah, blah, blah. And then I have to reach out and ask for help. So for those of you that feel like maybe you're living life in a storm and it's just chaos, I would highly encourage you to look within, check your motives, right? Why am I doing this? And that could be whatever it may be. But I would really encourage you to look within and maybe start some type of prayer and meditation practice. Prayer is talking. We're talking to the universe. Meditation is listening. So I've learned that whenever I'm able to meditate, sometimes it started in like a cold shower and like shock the body and you can't do anything else but like breathe. Or I implement a breathing, like breathwork exercise, and then I'll meditate and I kind of prime my body, or after a yoga session, or after working out. Basically, when my body is tired, I will like do something to really use that to allow my brain to just kind of be. And if you're thinking, it's okay. So I understand this is kind of turning into like, how to practice meditation, but we can do that later. So anyways, I really, really hope that this was helpful. I hope some of you understood, if not all of you understood that kind of mentality with just wanting to be centered and allowing the storm to happen. Like, I can't fight a hurricane. I can't fight a freaking hurricane, but I can do my part and my best to live my life in the center where it is clear, right? When I can see the sky, the big, beautiful blue sky, or I can truly see my inner child and my inner self and reconnect with that, and letting that almost like my gut, like a gut instinct type thing, and doing my best to not live in fear of, right, judgment, rejection, because everyone else is acting this way or doing this or being this or whatever the heck it may be. So I hope that was useful. I hope that was I was able to add to y'all. And gosh, I love that analogy, and I'm glad I kind of just came into my mind today. So I wanted to make a quick video, and I love you all so much. And if you're interested in starting some type of self-care routine to add to your life, not take, to add, to implement, to reset energy, emotions, spiritually, physically, if you're interested, I have a checklist. It's 100% free. Click on the link in the description, and I want to give that to you to hopefully remind you to love yourself. Freaking love yourself. Unfortunately, nobody else really knows how to love you other than you. You know exactly what you need and what you don't need. And for me, I want to take 100% responsibility for what I need and what I don't need. So I don't want to rely on other people. I don't want to rely on the government. I don't want to rely on, my boss to pay my bills, or to pay like a paycheck. And we can go down that rabbit hole later, but I want to be self-reliant, right? I want to be self-regulating with my own emotions. I want to be able to feel everything to its fullest extent, and the intensity of like anger, but also joy. I want to be able to feel it all because that's what's part of being human. And I know that I can't heal what I can't feel or what I don't feel. I need to allow feelings to happen. God made us like this for a reason. So, all right, I'll wrap it up. I love y'all. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And I'm still out here in Planada in my awesome hotel. We're hanging out. So, well, not we. Me hanging out by myself. But it's all good. I got you guys. Love you. Have a great day. Bye.